Hey, back in Thursday morning. If you caught the stream yesterday, I was pretty sleepy, but today I am feeling a bit better. This is what I want to talk about. Banging my head against the wall here, trying to figure out how to progressively optimize images. Let's actually... There's a way. There we go. Just going to right now trying to figure out this image optimization stuff. All right, so there we go. And actually, I'm going to tell John as well. All right. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see some folks. All right, so Jack McDade, source set. This I heard about this. It's in here somewhere. And I have also heard about Cloudinary. What I'm hoping, I was hoping to not have another third-party dependency. And let's just back up, because even my partner John Buddha is wondering why I'm doing all of this. By the way, am I too loud right now? Let me know if I need to back this down. Yeah, see, this is, I need to do this. How come I can't? There we go. Make that a little bit bigger. Straight up HTML. Okay, well, Jack, tell me more. But first, let's back up. Here's why I'm doing this. Building this new site, you can go there right now, marketing.transistor.fm. It gets great scores in PageSpeed Insights on desktop. Switch to mobile, and it's at 74 right now. And the biggest opportunity that I can see is to save images in next-gen formats. And so, you know, I've got some folks like John saying, well, why even bother saving things in WebP or but it's because of these potential savings. And also, I think I'm just bugged by this idea that, here, let's go there. I'm bugged by this idea that we have these big images, right? These are like, it's only showing 476 pixels, but the actual image is massive. And so I want to be able to generate image sizes for the right, I don't know, do you call this a viewport? For the right viewport, depending on what's happening here. We shrink this down in, you know, to mobile, and you know, these images should be a lot smaller in terms of image size, right? And I know most folks are just they just use the same image and, you know, optimize this one master image the best they can, but clearly, if we want to optimize for speed, we have to do this differently. Now, I know that is what Cloudinary does. I know that. I'm just wondering, why do I have to depend on a whole other third-party service? With Statamic, why can't I just generate these images locally, and then depending on the viewport size, like I've got these statamic resizing things happening depending on breakpoints, right? So yes, Ben, I am a lot more awake right now. In fact, I'm starting to feel like a developer because I'm getting pissed about the way things are. Okay, good. Jack's saying I don't need another third-party service. He says Statimix got us. Yes, I've looked at Cloudinary, not to sound redundant, but I don't want to depend on another third-party service, which is why Jack McDade says Statimix got me. All right. So Jack McDade, here's my question. No, Ben. You're the British Jack McDade. Jack McDade's not even the regular Jack McDade. Jack McDade is becoming Florida Jack McDade. He was New York Jack McDade. You know, there's constant evolution. Okay, so Jack wants to talk to me on Telegram. I only have one screen here. I'm gonna have to go full screen. Hold on. Gotta try to give Jack some privacy here. Let's see. All right. Hold on. Well, okay, so I'm just trying to shrink this down so that not everybody sees this. Okay, let's go back here. Try not to expose everything. So Jack is saying in Telegram that I can do something like this. By the way, Jack, how do I do this with background images? Because I saw lots of tutorials on using like the picture element and all that stuff, but background images, I'm not sure if it works the same way. How's it going, Peter Parker? I have not tried switching it off and on again. Hey, have you tried switching it off and on again? Not yet. Okay, so let's go back to Jack answering me on Telegram. So the image tag has source set attributes that you can pass breakpoints and additional URLs to, inline styles, or an image tag with fit content. So now I'm going to ask Jack over here, how do I do this with background images? And is there a way to incorporate these Tailwind breakpoints? So background images with inline styles, or an image tag with object fit cover. And do you folks understand what I'm talking about? Like, if we go to Tailwind, what's odd to me is we've got responsive design. So yeah, you can do these media queries with breakpoints, but that just means you're using this big ass image, right? Like this must be giant. Yeah. So you've got these giant images that you're serving to everybody. And yeah, you've got media queries, and in Tailwind you've got this cool, like, we'll show it width of 16 by default, 32 on medium screens and 48 on large screens. But the source is the thing that I don't understand why this isn't easier. So source set is the media query, and then background image. Okay, well, let's see what Jack says here. Let's go back here. For sure, you could do it in a few ways. See, Jack is driving around Florida right now in his convertible, and hair flowing in the wind. You could run multiple images and only show the one you need based on the breakpoint, or you can use source set. Can I get good at JavaScript without learning CSS? Are HTML and JavaScript just enough? I think you have to learn some CSS too. Source set only works on image. Oh, Jack's back at home. Okay, well, we should jump on a call, Jack. Yes, let's get on Skype. Just give me a call. I'll put you right here. We could get Ben, the British Jack McDade, and the American Jack McDade on the same call if we wanted to. Okay, let's do it. Again, I got too much going on here because I want to open up Skype, but I don't want to expose my last conversation. All right, so Ben's gonna Skype some code, and Jack is. All right, here we go. Oh, and here's a bunch of code. Holy Dinah, what is this? Ben just sent me some crazy stuff. All right. Oh, hey. How's it going, man?
Hey. Oh, sorry. I forgot. I've just teleported in time by like 10 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So let's get you. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the desktop, and let's show you on camera here. How do we do that? Oh, there we go. There's Jack. All right. So first of all, am I crazy? Do you understand what I'm? Oh, and I'm gonna show you.
I know exactly what you're trying to do, and we can solve it in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
Perfect. So let me share my screen so that we can both see the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna put you down there.
Perfect.
Oh God, I got too much going. See, look, do you see all the? See, you don't see this stuff on.
Yeah, no, I just see like, why aren't you taking my perfect advice?
Okay,
I've given you the answer 3 times. Don't you just like copy paste it?
So this is the code.
Okay.
Like I've got background image, Lou Later Studio.
Yep.
And that's a pretty big image, actually. You know, another dumb developer question I have in my head is, oh man, my machine's on fire right now. I'm trying to do all this stuff. This viewport is like here it says it's 600 pixels or whatever, but those aren't 600 responsive pixels, right? 476. Like to actually show this image responsively, I have to multiply that by 3.
I mean, the image usually is like double resolution is all you need in terms for it to like be retina friendly.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, what you're looking at right there is the element size, pixels, right?
How do I actually see what the actual
assets image size?
Well, what's it showing at right now? What resolution is this image? Do you understand what I mean? Like, what is the actual max resolution that this image needs to be to show in this size?
Yeah.
Because this is the maximum size it's going to get.
Yeah. Is that as wide as it's going to get right there? Like, if you blow your monitor up, it's still that exact dimension right there?
I
No,
mean,
it's
it goes a little bit crazier depending on what you've
okay.
got.
Whatever that craziest what you've got there is, that's the element size that you want. Okay.
Hmm.
So inspect that,
Okay.
and so that's 604 pixels. So you want like 1208
Okay.
pixels ish would
Yeah.
be that when you set your like maximum image width in your glide resize tag, the biggest one's going to be like 1200. It's probably close enough. 1208.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
or you can
Eh,
round it up a little bit is fine.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
and then as you step it down, you can look at where it breaks and then add additional like resize points as it
Hmm.
breaks down. But my guess is your layout's probably gonna stack vertically, right?
Yeah.
So
It takes away those other images. It hides those, and then it just shows this,
yeah.
which is the
Okay.
one I want.
So you could probably what I would do in this one particular case, this doesn't answer your question, but this one particular case is resize it to 1200 pixels max once and leave
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably like it's not going to get down to 50% width on mobile, so you're not going to get a 300 pixel version where you'd want 600, right? Double the 300. It's going to
Yeah.
be kind of the same. You want it high res.
The,
Um,
the um the there must be, so does Cloudinary automatically calculate these kinds of things? Like they automatically calculate CSS breakpoints and then resize images based on those breakpoints? Is there
I
any
don't
tool that does
think
that?
so unless it's doing it via JavaScript. No. I
Yeah.
haven't used Cloudinary myself. I can show you what I do with Statimake on the
Yeah.
server side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
let's
in this one case here, where you've got your URL and you pass in asset slash Lulater Studio,
yeah.
right? So inside those parentheses, you're gonna do like a glide tag.
Okay, and is this what let me look here. You've got, this is what you were sending me before here?
Yeah, this general approach here. Although that's a source set which only works on the image tag. Since you're doing a background image and you really only need one maximum width, we
Mhm.
can just do a simple glide tag and a width attribute.
Okay.
So you're
So how do
gonna
I,
do,
is it
yep,
okay.
you're almost done. We haven't even started. Um, so take that asset slash Lulater Studio.jpg, like cut that out.
Oh, cut. You
Cut,
don't.
cut that
We
whole URL. Yep, you're gonna paste that into the glide tag.
okay.
Okay,
No
and
space
kill that
here.
white space. Yep, and then do like source or src equals, like open up a parameter. Yep, quotes, and then pass that in there. Let's try that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, and then do add another attribute. Width equals what do we say? 1208, something like that.
Sorry, is this how you write the width
Yep.
attributes? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if your image still loads, it's working. So let's find out.
And just as an aside, sorry, are these are glide attributes in the same way that, like, if I wanted to convert this to WebP on the fly, I could do that as well here.
Yep, you just add format equals WebP.
Okay. But the one thing that Glide doesn't do right now is it doesn't have a solution for providing fallbacks.
For WebP.
Yeah, so it sounds like, well, let's just do this first. Let's take one thing at a time here. Okay, so let's go here. Tran stat. And all right, so that probably
Still
works.
loading, right? So you would inspect that image, and it'll have a different URL now. It'll be
Oh
like
yeah, okay,
Yep,
whoa.
there you go.
So these are actually generated um, on, so because it actually will save that file locally.
Yeah, it'll save it locally, and if you change the parameters, like if you want a different width or a different format or whatever, different height, it will regenerate a new one. But otherwise, it'll keep serving that one based on that original set of parameters.
Yes. Okay. This is cool. Okay, and so this is what this is. Oh no, what was I answering my question here? So
Yeah, you're basically doing that, except it's Statamic is taking care of like running it through the Glide service provider, basically.
gotcha.
Yep.
Now the tricky thing, of course, with if we did want to use WebP, now it might be this might already reduce the image. Like if we did it with both, we could test that. I guess part of this
Yep.
is just testing things and seeing if maybe it's enough to do.
Yeah, think of it like playing with like an analog like monitor on your guitar. You're kind of like fiddling with it until you're happy with it. It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of you're just like you can add the quality parameter, turn the quality down to 60 or 50, and if it still looks good, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Um, that didn't. Okay, so this is. Oh wait, no, this is not. This is the wrong. This is the wrong one. I want. Where's the other one? This is the one I want. Okay, now I forgot what I copied. So I want this part here. And then
Yep, just close your tag inside the print. Yep, you got it.
1208.
And you've gotten way better since last time we've screened. I don't have to say hardly anything.
All right.
Streaming programming thing is working.
One thing that's crazy is I don't understand how it's generated. Oh, now it's not working. Maybe
I take it.
maybe
we go back to the code. I don't know that it was closed correctly.
Oh, maybe I messed it up. All right.
You rush it just slightly. Yeah, you got double close curlies inside the parenthesis.
Oh, we need. I need these. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Double close curlies. That's technical.
Sure. Squiggly. Double squiggle close. I don't know. There we go.
Crazy. When does it generate those? Does it generate it?
The first time they don't exist. Like it'll say, hey, it looks at the parameters of the tag, and it will check the file system for like a URL that matches those parameters, and we'll load it. Otherwise, we'll generate it then.
All right. Let's. So we say use the glide to. What did we say? Dynamically resize images.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna push this up.
Rerun your tests.
Rerun the tests. Let's check this out. You folks can do this at home. We'll see how fast this actually did it. Did it actually? Maybe it didn't load those yet. Or is it does it have to generate these on the server?
It does, yeah. Is this on DigitalOcean or?
It's on DigitalOcean, yeah. Except I'm using RunCloud to deploy it. So
okay.
Hopefully it's still. But why wouldn't it doesn't, so it doesn't send up the files that I just generated, right?
No, it has to do it on the fly because you're not version controlling those. You're not keeping them in a project. They can be thrown away and rebuilt on demand.
Okay.
Why aren't they loading?
Maybe I could log into
possibly some cache. Are you using any kind of static caching or anything on production?
That is what I don't know. No, I think it's dynamic. It's set to dynamic. Let's just see if this actually. So it just went there. Owen is saying there's a 500 there.
Yeah, look at your network tab and see if there's any errors, and refresh with that network tab open. And yeah, you got a tiny little window. See if you got any errors.
Where do you see the
You
errors?
just like scroll up and down this whole little window. I'm not seeing any.
Really? This is what you do. This is what people do for fun, hey?
Yeah, this is like good times. It's like Friday night with a glass of whiskey, just looking for 500 errors. Uh,
So this is probably the way I'm doing this on now.
oh, I can look at this, right? Marketing.transistor.
Yeah, marketing.transistor.fm. Yeah. It might be the way that I'm change the filter to all. Owen is trying to tell me something. Change the filter to all.
Oh, in your network tab, you may have been filtering out
Okay.
the requests. Yeah, I see them here. Okay. Nice catch. All right, these images are not being generated. And the question is why? What is up with your server?
It might be, and maybe it's, yeah, here. I'm just going to switch. Sorry, folks at home. This is like launching a spaceship and learning to play the flute at the same time when you're doing a live stream. Okay, I just want to run. I'm going to log into Run Cloud. Let's see what the error. Oh yeah, no worries, Owen. We understand. We understand. Run Cloud. I'm going to log in here and see if we got an error. Or it just might be my Run Cloud settings.
Yeah, I'm wondering if possibly there's some like caching or routing controls for images. Like it doesn't actually have like a .jpeg or .png in the URL anymore. So I'm just wondering if maybe that's a factor.
Okay, well, let's see what the logs are. So deployed fine. I'll go back here and share my screen with everybody. Desktop. All right. So,
do you have access to logs right in here?
Yeah, I've got. Well, that's the deployment log, and then if we actually go into here, yeah, this guy thinks it's file extension, but let's go web server log. What's this?
Yeah, I just saw 500 in there.
You did see one?
Yeah, let's see. Right there, right the line below your current one.
But is it? I wonder if there's like a. Is there a log that actually shows me?
Yeah, like the log inside Statamic might give you more. But let's see, you have to SSH to your server to look at that.
It could just be too like. So I've got this projection. I've got clickjacking projection. Cross script. Process manager is on demand. Oh, it's on demand as opposed to dynamic. I wonder if that would, if I change it to dynamic, if it would.
I do not know what that is.
I think when I looked it up, it was like dynamic, it figures it out for you. On demand, it only figures it out when you need it or something. I can't remember. Your other assets, images are assets. Your glide image is image. Sorry, it's image asset. Is the path correct?
The path should be correct automatically. It was working in local dev, right? So
yeah,
got to be something configured differently on the server. So this is DigitalOcean, but it was provisioned with
Run Cloud.
What's this? Run Cloud. Okay. Does Run Cloud have the GD library? Can you get a PHP info so we can make sure that you can actually generate images on the fly?
I got PHP version. Like, so what do you want me to do? You want me to?
Just, just wondering how you would look at your PHP info. Is that something that they give you um, in the control panel here? Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know what a PHP info is? Okay. Oh, I can teach you a new thing. This is kind of
Yeah.
fun, sort of.
Well, PHP info. I mean, I've seen that in WordPress
Yeah,
installs
it's
and
just like a
stuff.
giant list of like all the modules that are installed and stuff. Um,
Yeah. PHP info run cloud. Let's see what happens here. Cheat sheet. How do you? But we just want to see the PHP any file, right?
not even the ini file. Like there's just a simple PHP function you call, which is like PHP underscore info, and it will just dump like a bunch of data that shows all the modules.
Hmm.
And let's see, we can add one to your project and deploy it, and then you can hit it. That's one way to do it.
Oh, and then there's
Like there's a
Power Tools has it too.
Power Tools. If you have Power Tools
I don't
installed
know.
in Static, you can log into the control panel on the marketing side.
Yeah.
Can you do that
Do you want me locally or on the?
on production? Yeah, or on this server.
I don't know if I've actually got it. Oh, and then I got to remember my password here. Hold on.
Stop live streaming everything.
I'll just show my face here. God, what is this now? Aaron saves the day, and he's in Europe.
What did he do? Oh, it's Power Tools.
All
Sure,
right.
fair enough.
Transstat. Okay. All right, but I don't know if I have it. It's an add-on, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you don't have it installed.
Okay, I mean, I could do that later. There's one other disadvantage to this approach that about generating them like this, though, which is um, I'll lose the kind of. I mean, it might not be a lot of SEO juice, but file names can provide an SEO benefit too.
Yeah, there's a way you can get the file names you want too. If you turn on, like, there's like a, let me go into the control panel in settings, assets, and there's a serve cached images directly toggle. So
Okay,
go to assets.
hold on.
And this won't, like, once you generate a thumbnail, that's it until you decide to blow it away, like, via the command line. It's not,
Let me just do this locally because
yeah.
that's another thing that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is if we do anything on the server,
You'll get a git conflict.
yeah,
Yep. Unless you SSH in and commit those changes and then pull them back down.
gotcha. So that's what people are doing.
If you want to do that, that's what people do. Yeah. Or use Spock to have all the changes automatically committed and pushed. Which is
Okay,
another option.
Spock
Yeah.
just runs on the server or something.
Yeah, it like Static calls it whenever stuff changes. There's like an event that's triggered that it listens to. So yeah, there's
Okay,
this serve cache images directly setting. If you flick that on and then hit save.
okay.
Now if you go back to your home page, let's take a look at the file name there.
Like you want me to just show you
Mm-hmm.
this here?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on. Okay. Oh, I see. So it's got. Is
Yes,
it
you
this
see
here?
the actual. Yep.
Gotcha. Now,
That is saved in there.
so do you think?
It's some better. It's not perfect, but it's some better.
Yeah, it is some better. Now, that won't fix that problem we were just having, though, will it?
No. It's my guess is that the
Except
GD
it's,
library is not enabled on your server
but it's generating these images now.
locally.
But when I
Yeah,
commit these, they won't.
you
They w-
you could commit those if you want to. Yeah.
but it won't. It won't
Okay.
show up on the server
On the server, it might just work. Yeah, actually.
because I don't remember. I don't think
Let's try it.
before.
Want to try it? Let's just try it.
Let's just try it. See what happens. Okay, where's the actual marketing site here? Oh,
Hey, there you go.
did that work?
It worked.
Oh, sweet.
So that's how you can bypass that. And
Oh,
we still don't know exactly why they weren't loading. We have a
yeah,
theory.
but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, you could always cross that bridge later when it matters again.
It's like,
You're a real developer now, Justin. This is how we
yeah,
do it.
this is how we do
This
it.
is
Well,
setting up
because
for day.
because in terms of like what I want, what I want is I want the I want. I mean, ultimately, what I want is I'm trying to increase my mobile scores, right? So that's what I want. But the
Which we didn't do. It looks like it didn't
well,
move the needle at all.
it did actually reduce these. Well, actually, I wonder if it reduced the file sizes correctly.
We also didn't add the quality parameter. So I don't know what the original image size was, but if it wasn't that different, then 1200, you're not going to get that much of a savings, right?
Yeah, yeah. This looks like it's about 1200.
It's 1200-ish for sure.
1208. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, the other thing is, well, there's a few cool things about this actually now, because now Ben is, oh, and we could also try this new lazy loading thing. Can you do lazy
Yeah.
loading with background images?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know if it's the same,
If
like
it's
the
just
new
that
lazy
same,
loading attribute. Yeah, I don't think
yeah.
so. I also use this lazy sizes plugin, which is really nice. Let me see if that does any
There's a
background.
lazy sizes add-on in Statamic, or is that something different? Sorry.
It's just like a JavaScript library, like a super tiny one, and you add a class to whatever images you want to be lazy loaded, and it just works. It works with source set. Does not look like it works with background
You
images.
know what would be cool, and Ben keeps saying he's going to build an add-on right now, but the one thing I keep thinking about is, and I'm probably just a dummy. I don't know how this works, but I'm I'm running Yarn production, and it compiles this JavaScript and this CSS, and then it like minifies it and stuff. This is all for Tailwind, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what it to me it seems technically possible that I could run Yarn production, and in a magic universe it would go, okay, here's your size, here's your sizes you're using for this image. I'm going to generate WebP. I'm going to generate. I'm going to have the fallback via JPEG. I'm going to I'm going to insert all of those styles in the CSS. But when I run Yarn production,
Mm-hmm.
it just goes blah, 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 blah. It generates the WebP stuff with Glide or whatever. It generates the right sizes. It does all that stuff, and it points to the right place, right? Because that's the problem with all these things that people are talking about here, which is, yeah, you can do source set, but as soon as you get into background images, which is what we're using here, it gets complicated. Like normally you would set this as a separate class, but if you want to use the crazy Tailwind classes, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do. Like, yes, it's 100% possible to do what you're looking to do. The problem is you have to wire up all these different things so they're aware of each other, right? So now your configuration file for Webpack and Tailwind and Mix probably is more complicated because it needs to now parse things, and are you changing the markup, or are you doing it on the fly in JavaScript? And yeah, you can totally do it. It's like we're not to that point yet where everything is so smart that I can work everything else out. Because like as developers, we're building 35,000 different silos instead of like you know, intercompatible systems. Everyone's still fighting to be the big library that everybody uses.
Yeah.
So yeah, my personal responsive workflow is like I just manually resize my image before I add it to the site to my maximum width. And then if I ever need a smaller one, I use source set. And that's pretty much like really straightforward way of just kind of approaching it.
But you can't source set a background image.
No, you can't, but you can use an image tag and like absolute positioning and z-index to like place it as a background image, and
Gotcha.
it'll act like one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a different. You just have to wang jangle it, but you can do the same thing. It's just like different markup, different classes and stuff. So you like add a relative wrapper, you put it inside, you give it absolute height width, 100%, and then object fit cover, and it works the same. Like I can teach you to do that if you want to do that, or another time.
I mean, I think what's frustrating is that it feels half baked to me, because it feels like not anything you just described, but just the markup feels half baked to me, because we have this picture element that allows us to do everything, but then as soon as you need to use a background image, you have to do something different, and there's no way to set. Is there a way to set a fallback inline? You know what I mean? Like everyone recommends these fallbacks. I don't know if they talk about it in here, but you know, with background images, you can do these fallbacks, and some people are using like Modernizer, so you have a class with Modernizer and it detects it automatically.
Yeah, and then it's getting so complicated, right?
Well, I mean, I'm fine with all of that as long as there's an easy implementation that doesn't add a bunch more cruft and weight. So I'm just like,
I don't love options where I have to explicitly write CSS for every image, right? Like where in my CSS, I'm passing in the image path and then passing in, you know, the fallback image, etc. Like that, I don't love.
You don't like doing that?
No.
Because WebP definitely makes the images way smaller. Like when I create those files as WebP files, they're way smaller. But the problem,
they just don't work in all the browsers.
They don't work in all the browsers, and so I understand I'm running into the limits of the web. But to me, what's odd is that if you really care about this stuff, if you really care about making these files small, and certainly if I reduce this to 1200 and I used like tiny PNG or something to make, I could probably get it down even smaller.
Yeah, or if you just throw the quality parameter, set it to 50, you'll probably chop another 40 or 50 kilobytes off.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird to me. It's weird to me that we have progressive formats like these, but you can't. There's no easy way to implement it in HTML without using Modernizer or without using Cloudinary.
Right, it's still a house of cards, right?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't. That whole idea of progressive enhancement still kind of falls apart here. It doesn't work super cleanly. Like I want to start with a JPEG and then just replace it with a WebP if it's supported. That'd be great if you could pass that right in your source set, but it just doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, and Adam Patterson is saying if you add HTTP equivalent viewport to a meta tag and then add any modern image CDN, it will detect the format for you without doing anything extra. So I think that's like using Cloudinary or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you're
Which
not using a CDN.
which I mean would be, I guess that would be fine too. That would be, maybe I'm being stubborn and I shouldn't be. Is there any other low hanging fruit here that you think? So my theme CSS. I don't know what this is. Consider delivering critical inline. Okay, we're not going to
No,
do
that's
that.
not low hanging fruit.
And
Um,
we've got web fonts.
let's see. Let me run it, and instead of telling you scroll up, please, I'll just run one from my
I
machine.
mean, the other thing is these things are different every single time. So
Yeah,
it
for
look
sure.
it looks like my biggest savings are images, and then unfortunately I'm using Mixpanel and Kayako. I can't get away from that.
Right.
Oh, by the way, actually, while I'm here, I think I solved this problem, but I want to ask you because uh, I
Because you
think
got me.
because I got you, and I think this is a common thing. Uh, yeah, so Hugh is saying picture plus image source set solves a lot of this without Modernizer. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm just yeah, Hugh. The problem here is that if I want to use Adam Wathan's fancy Flex grid, whatever, I have to basically use background images.
You don't. I can show you how to do it if you
Is
want to
it
try it.
is it way more? As soon as you said Z
It's not
index,
any more work. You just have to think about it differently, and you need to. Go ahead.
as soon as you said Z index, I got a little bit of PTSD. Okay, so
It's not so bad.
first let's talk. This was an issue that was when I had this code public. This guy said, on your production test site, you're not using purge CSS. It's set up in Webpack but not used. If you add something like npm run production after getting hold packer. So what I did is I just ran yarn production and then I deployed. Is that doing what he's talking about here?
It might. Let's look at your Webpack config file. Can you pop that open and see if you have
Sure.
purge CSS wired up?
Webpack. Okay.
If in production, yeah, so you have that, assuming it's wired up correctly. That looks correct to me.
Okay,
Whenever
but
you
do I?
run
But I
production,
was
it will do
I
that.
I ran yarn production instead of npm. Is that fine?
They're equivalent. They do the same thing.
And is that how you do it? You run it locally, and then you just push everything up to the server?
Yep, you either do it locally and commit those changes, or you run it on the fly on production, which is what I usually do, unless you have like a site that you can't have any downtime where like for 1 second the CSS doesn't load. Like for a zero downtime deployment, you can do it locally.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
he
yeah,
and he
totally
was
choose.
and he was saying it almost like he was like in the app deployment script, and so oh yeah, I remember in Forge there's like a deployment script section. So technically within Run Cloud, there could be some
You
sort
have the
of
same thing? Script installer. Like do you have like
it's
oh yeah,
because of the
that
usage of Git, and then it basically just has this like,
deployment script. There you go. You see that deployment
oh
script?
yeah, there we go.
And so right in there, you can add, like what I do is npm install and npm run production or yarn, whichever. And then you can have that run on the server after you're done deploying.
Okay, so I could type in yarn. Does it have yarn on there? How does
That's a
it
good question.
how does it know? And
Like you SSH in and just try it. That's what I would do.
okay, okay, and
It's more likely to have npm than
mhm.
yarn, but you can then install yarn if you prefer it.
I'm only using yarn because Adam had it in his docs. I know I have both on there, yarn and npm. So I don't know why I
So
don't
here's
know.
the history. NPM was really slow, and somebody wrote Yarn on top of it to make it faster. And then NPM's like, "Damn it, you guys are awesome!" And then they like kind of did the same thing, and so now they're basically equivalent. Yeah,
What a dumb world.
this is the. They're like, "No, we don't care about speed. It's not important." And everyone was like, "But we do." So we fixed it. And like, fine, we'll use it too. And everyone's still using Yarn, and I don't know. That's where we're at.
You can write the script below in Bash without Bash. You don't have to run git fetch command, but you must include your own git merge command. This will be terminated if 10 minutes if it doesn't stop. You must click enable deployment script for the script to work. The scripts will be running inside of this. Composer and PHP will use default PHP CLI. Okay, but the the only reason to do this, oh, I see. This is just makes it automatic. So if I'm just running yarn watch and I'm updating things on the fly, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to deploy for this stuff to be on there, and so you would run what he's saying to run, which is npm
Yeah,
production.
so then you wouldn't have to remember, okay, when I'm done making my changes, kill npm run watch, do npm run production, commit those changes and push them. If you don't want to remember to do that, because like you may just kill it and push, and then now you have your dev like uncompressed assets up on production, which is going to kill all of your savings of all that stuff you did for your images and whatnot, because you're going to have this massive JavaScript file and a massive CSS file. So you definitely want to be running the production version of your CSS and JS on production always. So here, if you want to try the deployment script, you'd probably do on one line, do git pull origin master. And that's going to pull that. And then on the next line, I would do like npm install.
So why do we have to do npm install?
Because if you ever change the dependencies, like it won't have them unless it's installed them.
Gotcha.
Like whatever, like Webpack and whatever JavaScript libraries you have. And if there's nothing new to install, it uses a log file. It just goes, oh, it's good, and it skips that step. So you just always keep that as a just in case.
And is this going to create git conflicts?
It will. Yeah, if you currently have your CSS and JavaScript in Git, it's going to stomp over them and do that. So if you're going to do this, you're going to want to delete those files and then Git ignore them.
Interesting.
This is like totally a workflow call where there's no right or wrong way. It's just what way do you want to work?
Just because, but it shouldn't matter for base.css. I will still see locally. I just won't see the generated mytheme.css. Correct?
You won't see it in what way?
In GitHub.
Right. If that is your generated CSS file, that won't be in there.
Okay. So git ignore is somewhere, right?
Yep.
For my theme, is this what I want in the themes file?
You could do it that one, or you could do it in the root one. They both work. So, right in here.
So what's the advantage of doing the root one? This is the root one? Git ignore local?
Yeah, that's the root one. If you're going to have it in one place, this is the one place to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have all of the built-in, like the default Statimix stuff ignored. Is that right?
Looks like I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I could do this later too.
Yeah, that's fine. Either way. Yeah, I mean, I guess the way you're running, there aren't as many things to ignore. Like you would ignore the local directory because that's where all of the cache stuff lives. That's going to happen on the fly anyway.
Okay. So how do you write this in?
Just one pattern per line. So you would add the word local. You don't have to do the prefix /. Yep.
Okay.
And then the next line would be like .env. Yep, and then like dot the ds_store file. If those are showing up, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's capital D, capital S, capital S. Yeah, I don't have this memorized. I'm just looking at mine.
So is there like a statamic get ignore?
Yeah, there's a default one, and usually like you start a project, you just rename it from sample to get ignore.
Okay, so there's like stuff already somewhere here.
That is an old V1 version. So
but
you can't also, it's hard to get rid of old stuff on the internet.
This is how people Google. This is how people get in trouble.
I know. Dude, look at that. That is result number 1. Something that's 7 years old and irrelevant.
Yeah, it's like, it said 2013, so.
Okay. 6 years.
ds_store.
Yeah, try this one, installing Statamic in the Statamic2 docs. I don't know if we actually paste the...
Yeah, it's probably just the, I mean, I might even have samples somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have it in there. I mean, it's this. I will paste it to you in Skype. How about that? Whoops. Oh.
Except this might kill my machine because I'll have to open up Skype. All right. This is yours. You just have a bag of tricks that you use whenever you're. Okay, so what do we have here? ds_store. Oh, you already had local. Node modules. Bower components. Bower.
Yeah, it's old school. That's like before there was npm was Bower, and since Statamic's been around for a while, people were using it, and you can kill it. It's fine.
Okay, and then we're gonna ignore the CSS and JavaScript somehow.
Yep. So you just do site/theme/my-theme/CSS.
Can I? Oh, I guess it's probably too late to rename my /theme now, because.
It's never too late. We could do that.
I know, but I've probably got references to it all over the place. So it's fine. Okay, and then CSS.
my-theme.css.
Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for JavaScript.
Yes, whatever that one is. My-theme.js.
Theme.js, and then just my-theme.js.
Looks like it.
I could probably I have that modernizer file there, but I haven't used it.
You could probably remove those starting slashes too.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And then you'll also need to delete those files and commit the deletion. Assuming you want to do this. This is what you would do.
Oh, I got to delete these files on locally.
In your project, and commit the fact that you deleted them. That way they stop being included in every change, and then they don't conflict on the server.
Okay, interesting. Now, if I was running Spock, I wouldn't have to worry about this.
Your CSS and JavaScript is not watched by Spock because Statamic doesn't touch those files.
Okay.
Like user land. Yeah.
Okay. So then I need to delete those files locally.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're doing this, So we need to turn on, like you'll put. Is this like your live site, or is this like your?
It's still not. Yeah, we're still. Okay. We're not live yet. Okay, so you want me to delete my theme?
Yep.
And so I won't run. Okay, I'm just going to do this now, and then.
Okay. We're gonna have to teach you some shortcuts, by the way.
That's what my live streamers have been saying for years. Watchers have been saying for a long time.
Command Shift C. Come on.
Yeah, but there's like, yeah, I probably should learn. I've got this idea.
Only care so much.
I've got this thing of okay. I'm just gonna put deleting
Compiled
stuff.
assets, I'd say.
Sorry, what? How can I
would
communicate?
say
I need to communicate this to John in a way that he won't get mad at me.
removing pre-compiled assets.
Pre-compiled assets.
That's what I would say. That's kind of clear what's happening.
All right. And
Okay.
push that. Now
You'll need to go back to Run Cloud, and we'll need to enable that.
Yeah.
Script.
Yeah. Where is that? Okay. So.
And you saved my afternoon. I was struggling. This is way more fun than what I was gonna
do. All right. So I'm gonna save it.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
So successfully updated deployment script, but we haven't deployed.
Doesn't mean
yet.
it works. Doesn't mean it works.
Yeah. What? This whole site is probably broken now.
It's entirely possible.
Okay. No, it's still there. And now I'm wondering, do I need to redeploy? But if it's all working, does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, we may have actually just did the first blind, like hot swap, Indiana Jones, like all at once.
Okay, what is this? Maximize. So this just happened?
What are we looking at now? Or why are we looking at this?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how can we tell? Did it just work?
Okay, so open up your DevTools and refresh the page to make sure the cache is cleared.
Okay.
Which is also Command-Shift-C.
Okay, Command-Shift-C.
Okay, it looks broken now, which is that's what we'd expect.
Okay.
So if it's running npm install for the very first time, you know how that goes, right? It's like several minutes.
Yeah,
so it doesn't mean it's not working.
I'm wondering if I need to click this deploy button though.
Click it. Let's see what happens.
Do you want to force deployment using script above? Please save the script first. What the fuck?
You already did it.
Let's just do it. Let's just move it out of this.
Yeah. rm-rf space asterisk. What could happen? What's the worst that could happen? All right. Is there like a deployment watcher? Is there like a thing where you can see that it's currently deploying, like Forge does?
Oh, here we go. Deployment error.
Okay.
Package.json. You should commit this file.
Dad?
Yep.
Can you tell Jeremy to stop smacking me in the butt?
Yeah. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sorry, Ben. That's not a good joke.
You know Jay will run that, Jack. Yeah, I'll run whatever. So what happened here is some sort of package.json thing.
Yeah. So it's saying that the okay. Let's look at your script again. We need to change the directory into your site theme because it's not in the root of your project. We missed that step. So after the git pull, do cd space site/theme/my theme. But not that first slash.
Oh yeah. Is it site theme or themes?
Plural.
Themes.
There it is.
All right, let's save this.
And save, and let's try that.
Let's go back here. Wonder if this updates. Does this update?
It's not going to go that fast, even when it works, because it has to npm install.
It has to do a bunch
it will
of.
take at least 3 minutes, even when it's done right.
What is this? This isn't the log I want to look at, is it? What engine?
I don't think so. No.
Web application log. What's this do? Run
Summary?
deployment script.
Is it like in the summary? Does it show you Like deployments, like last deployment time, anything like that?
No, I think that's just this web application thing.
Hmm.
And then web server
Git?
log.
Maybe in Git? Why did you go with this over Forge? I'm just curious.
I just wanted to try it, and
Okay.
I could have. I think part of it was
Price? Maybe?
price, and then
Yep.
also I could have just added a second thing to my personal Forge. Like I could have just expanded it, but I'm trying to keep the business separate.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. It's too late for me on that.
So, so
You should look. Yeah, you should look at my Forge account.
ooh,
And is it? Oh, look at this! It's working.
it
Excellent.
worked.
Okay.
Sweet.
So now all you need to do is change your source files, and everything's going to be recompiled on the fly. So you don't need to think about it anymore, and it should be minified, which is great. So
Yeah.
let's try a speed test again.
Okay. I mean, I think it was already
It was probably already compiled.
I'd
so-
minified it before, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, it seems like, I know that PageSpeed Insights is like a total black box. I gotta figure out, is it, this is Tailwind stuff, isn't it? The Source Sans
those
Pro?
are fonts. Those are the font files for a custom font.
Yeah,
from Google.
but where am I using those? Because these must just be Tailwind stuff.
No, Tailwind doesn't include fonts like automatically.
I don't know where I'm rendering that because
You want to project search the WAF?
the what? What?
The WAF. Just do a project search for WAF. Like Command Shift F, like search the whole project, and
And
then just type WOFF2. Bam, and let's just see what's using it. Oh, that's the files inside the control panel of Statamic? I mean, yeah. Keep going. Font awesome. It shouldn't be seeing those on the front end, though. It's got to be another place. But that's what it looks like.
weird. Do you think it's just the control panel? It's rendering those somewhere?
I mean, the control panel definitely uses a couple of custom fonts for the icons,
Yeah.
but why
Um,
is Page Insights spotting that?
I wonder if Steve is using it in these footers. This footer that.
Could be. Yeah, if you have font awesome included, yeah, that would be why.
Interesting. Okay, but the actually the everything is minified, right? Yeah, it is. It's minified, so that's
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And so now I don't need. I can still run Yarn Watch locally, but I won't run Yarn Production, and it doesn't even matter if I do.
Right, exactly.
Sweet. Okay.
Do you want to like you can be the yak that I shave all afternoon. You want to keep working on this? Like you want to work on your
Well, well, now I'm thinking here that, I mean, the most sensible thing here seems to be to optimize these. What was the other thing we were thinking about doing? Like
lazy loading?
lazy loading, but we can only, oh, I see. You're saying you can
Because they're-
recreate this grid.
Like they're below the top of your page, so you could lazy load them, right? So
Yeah.
like you don't want to lazy load that first image. You can lazy load this whole block. Then I don't want to. Right now, everything left to do is so hard. I can't do it today. Not after getting my house listed on the MLS. I got nothing left.
Does V3, because I'm thinking of that big company, does V3 of Statamic have some sort of Spock equivalent? Because how do they deal with things? They must be always, or do they just use the web app? to write content?
Spiegel.
Spiegel,
Like the
sorry.
with the millions and millions of entries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a totally like way more complicated setup than the rest of us plebes. Um, but yeah, like basically they push changes and they go out to an Elasticsearch instance, and the Elasticsearch instance works like a headless CMS that like distributes content. So it's a little bit different.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sure. Why don't we try that lazy loading thing,
Yeah.
if you want, and then I'm going to take my kids mountain biking.
That sounds awesome.
Okay. So git ignore. That was a fun adventure.
Mm-hmm.
We're back here on homepage embed, which is just a blob of HTML that I just insert into.
Oh, right. It's background images, so we can't lazy load them easily.
Yeah.
That's right. What's up, Jacob?
Jacob Bennett. Who's that?
Who's Jacob Bennett?
Yeah. Do you know him?
Just Google him. You know Jacob Bennett.
All right. So, yeah. What's the key here?
The key to doing lazy loading?
Yeah. Do we want to try this right now or no?
We can do it if you want to.
How complicated is it? So basically, this flex stuff that Adam had me write. You're saying we can keep all of this stuff, which it resizes it, and then it also hides stuff if I'm now I gotta figure it. Hidden small flex. It hides some images when it's on a phone, basically.
Right.
But we can keep all this, but we can instead of using background image, we can use the picture element, right?
Yes. Image tag, technically we can wrap it in a picture if you want to. I'm gonna type out like a close approximation of what I think will work, and then we'll drop it in and see if we can tweak it into place.
Okay.
Just give me a sec here.
Do you want me to give you my original code?
I mean, I've copied it off your front site, and I'm almost done.
Okay.
Let's see, background. All right, so kill the background image. We're gonna do an actual image, and okay. So then inside that, you've got your Mesh Studios thing. That'll be the same. We'll do absolute, and a little inline style. All right, let's try this. Let's see. Oh wait, background cover. Okay, yep. This is probably like 3/4 of the way there.
You put it in Skype?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it in a Skype.
Okay. All right. Don't know how. Okay, so this is for. Was this Lou later?
The Mesh Studios.
Okay. Yeah. And where does it start? Does it start inside? It starts here, right?
Yep. So just drop that down a couple lines. Don't kill it yet. We might need to reference it. And yeah, here we go. So instead of that background image, we now have an image tag that's being resized dynamically. So that's the same. Mm-hmm. And then we've got an absolute height, like full width and height. Mm-hmm. Then it's pinned, and then I added a little style that we can add into your CSS as a utility. That's object fit cover, which will make it act like a background image.
Oh, interesting.
So it'll fill to the edge and like spill over and contain it, so it kind of doesn't like break your layout, right? Mm-hmm. And then the rest of your stuff is the same, right? You've got your little like pill box with the label over it. So let's just, I guess comment out the first background image block and let's see if it works.
How do I comment again? Just this?
Yep.
Oh, except there's a way to do this probably smarter.
Command slash.
Command slash?
Yeah, if you just like select whatever you want and hit command / the question mark slash one. I'll be honest, I still can't tell the difference between
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
But we haven't implemented lazy loading in this yet, right?
No, correct. But we
Okay.
can if we can make it work with an image tag. That's the step one.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's not look at that one. Let's look at this one. All right.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference, right?
Can't tell the difference. And this is the Mesh Studio one, right? So let's just take here. Oh, yeah, it's right there. And I'm guessing it's responsive in the same way. Wow. Mm-hmm. Jack, you really know what you're doing, man.
It's not my first rodeo.
Okay, so I mean, I don't exactly understand what you did here.
We'll just step through it again so you do, right? So
yeah.
Down below, you've got this style, right, that says we're going to set this background image, and it's just going to fill the container, right? The whole container is going to be this background image. Yeah. So instead of doing that, we made the container. It has a height, right? H64. It's relative, so everything's going to be able to snap inside of that. Now this image tag has it's absolutely positioned, so it's then pin is going to tell it to like top 0, right 0, bottom 0, left 0. It's going to be basically just saying fill up all the space inside the container. And then this object fit cover says basically act like a background image. And then everything else is the same. So instead of it just being an actual background image, it's an element that acts like one inside.
Sweet. And now, is lazy...
So like lazy loading.
Do we just add lazy like this, or is it a style? What is it?
Checking what it is, because it just came out, right?
Yeah.
Like in Chrome 75.
Yeah.
And it is, what's the tag? I haven't even used it yet. I think you literally just throw lazy on there.
At the end.
It's like the laziest way to implement lazy loading, which is it's fitting, right? Like that's the way it should be.
Where's the lazy loading image? Oh wait, no, this isn't it. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, yeah. Loading equals lazy. I think that is right.
Oh, is that it? I have to remember something.
This is hilarious because now to find, because this was all over, Twitter the other day, but even to search lazy loading on Google, which is a Google thing.
Yeah, I had to scope it to like the last 24 hours. Loading equals lazy.
Okay, I'm just gonna believe you guys because this.
Let's just try it.
This thing's not equal. Okay, so where was I? Where's my image?
After the style tag.
Oh maybe. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna go loading equals lazy.
Boom.
And let's try this out. And if whoever's on Microsoft Edge, you guys try this out there and tell me what happens.
It should just load like normal, like nothing should happen.
Yeah. And so this will. So what it's doing is it's only loading that when I scroll down.
Yes. Yep. As you approach it, it should go, hey, is there anything I need to load as this guy's scrolling? And it'll pull it in. Wow. And so if it works right, you'll never not see it. Like it should be seamless.
Okay. Let's do it with the other one. And I want to see what this does. So we need to redo all of this stuff. I'm just going to... You probably have a different way you would do this, but I'm just going to do it this way. I need this right here, right? Okay, so this is what you did, and I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to copy. I'll just copy this. And I'm going to try that new trick you just taught me. All right.
Look at that.
Look at me. Look at me go. All right. Here we go. And if we did this right, that one is also
Boom.
boom. Okay. Now let's test our new deployment process and everything else. So now we're
Do
gonna
you
go
want to take your code comments out?
lazy loading. Oh yeah, I guess you could. I don't want to be embarrassed.
That's right. That'll be in there forever. Like, I wasn't committed to this approach. I didn't trust version control. I didn't think I could get it back.
Don't trust Jack. All right. So we're gonna call this is basically lazy loading plus using image instead of background.
There you go.
You should see the difference between me committing, because this is my project, so all my commits are just like whatever. But whenever I commit on like our Rails app, because it's John's project, I spend so much time on those on those things.
So yeah, I love it. Yeah. I've gotten into the pattern of using like the Gitmoji pattern. That's a redundant sentence. So I use an emoji in every single commit
Oh yeah,
to mark the type of commit it is.
yeah.
I've been doing it for like 4 months now, and not once have the other Statamic guys ever tried it ever. They clearly don't care at all.
This is what I have. I have this little shortcut that goes. I just TPR and then I have all these things I fill out for.
Whoa, that is
John.
next level.
Yeah. All right. So now
Well,
we got this lazy loading. I wonder if this now, because it's below the fold, but it's like just under. I wonder if it's even going to matter, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess that's a question. Whether it'll be a factor.
I think Page Speed Insights is just Google's ploy to make people, write stuff the way that they want.
It went down.
Well, I
75
think
before, and now it's 73.
although when I run these things, it always is different. See, it's really complaining about. Let's just do an on the fly, just for fun. I want to WebP this thing. So where is it?
We lost. You know what we lost? The width. The width parameter's gone.
Oh yeah. So how do
It's got big.
I add that?
Just like before, just width equals 1208, like you did before.
Oh yeah. 1208.
And why don't you throw like a quality 60 in there? Let's just like bring that down just a tad.
So just quality equals 60?
Yes.
Okay. What the? 60. I'll do the same here. Okay. If this works, I'm going mountain biking.
Excellent.
I'll
have to find a new yak to shave. I'll just edit tomorrow's newsletter again for the 9th time.
Oh, wait, I got to load this locally. That's the one thing about this approach, right? It doesn't generate those images unless if I load it locally.
Yes.
And then GitHub should have, okay. So, quality, image, optimization. Commit that, push. I can't believe how fast this deploys. I'm sure if we have 3,000 articles, it will be different, but...
I mean, not necessarily.
Because it would just ignore all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, literally the deployment is doing git pull. So it's just doing a diff. Only the things that changed are being pulled down.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the stuff happens on the fly with Statamic, and that's not an actual deploy. So
It looks like the image is smaller. And let's go back here. See what happens.
come on, 76. Let's get 1 point for all of this work.
But the thing is, you can run these tests back to back and get there we go.
Look at that. There we go. 6 points.
You can. Oh, see, we're deferring these though, man. What's the?
Well, there's more. You only did the first 2.
Yeah, but this is
there's
still that
the-
same. This is that same image. I think it's just too close to the.
It could be.
And I think I can. I'm gonna mess around with the act. Like I'm just gonna put these images in Sketch and just like mess around with it.
Yeah.
These are such. But what's nice is that sometimes the opportunities here, like to me, I can clearly see what the opportunity is. It's these big images that are,
Right.
Everything else is like, there's
Your static policy could be something.
Yeah, we could cache some of this stuff.
Yep, that's just an Nginx config. Like that's pretty straightforward.
These
So I
are
don't
cached
really like
30
messing
days.
around with that until you're ready to launch, because then you have to deal with like cache busting and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's a later.
Beauty, man. I think we did some good work today. And
It wasn't nothing.
you ignored the things you were supposed to be doing.
I successfully. Yeah.
All
I
right,
still
man.
have 3 hours left in the day though, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. No, I'm gonna get back to it.
Just come mountain biking with us.
No problem. I think what are you maybe 5 hours of flight time to get
Yeah,
to the west?
yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Maybe
Really,
someday.
really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, no problem. All right, catch you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, so we close that. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I got to go. See you later.